All right. In the previous video from September 2020, I left off with issue number 132 of March 1995. And this is issue number 133 of April 1995. And so there you can see a Mary Jo Putney book there. There's the table of contents page. The thing about Angelique, it says there. The letters page. And right away, I think you can kind of tell how much more interesting Romantic Times appears than the other magazines that I just showed, because this is Flavia's column, or Flavia, however her name is pronounced. There's lots more news, gossip. There's lots of text, like it's jam-packed with info. Biz Buzz. Mary Jo Putney again. Leisure Books launches an Angel's Touch, which was a line or imprint. Susan Elizabeth Phillips, Elizabeth Thornton, and so on. Joan Hall, Frances Ray. There's a ad for Arabesque. And Tête-à-Tête, which was Kathy Robbins' column about historical romance news, plus all the reviews of historical romance. Oh, In Memoriam, Sylvie Summerfield. Whoops. Let's see if we can get that in there. There we go. New York's Leading Ladies. Romance Writers of America's New York chapter. Brenda Joyce, Sandra Kitt, and so on. A Reader's Corner. Question Corner. Oh, what was that about the... something different. Then more letters. There's tons of stuff. The online romance, which we looked at last time. Collecting romance novels from a bookaholic point of view. These titles are currently in demand. The prices I estimated are for books in B condition, blah, blah, blah. So these are, and this is 1995. So, of course, nowadays you can just go on eBay and Romance Midlist and Endangered Species, a reader's response to brand new publishers. These are letters. The previous issue had an article about Angelique, I believe. So these are letters about Angelique, which was the French historical epic from the 60s and 70s. And there's a big ad, sort of the center spread. Hard to get it all in the thing here. Denise Little Presents, which was a line from Pinnacle Books. April ratings, April reviews. Mystery and intrigue. You know, this is the rave review section. Silhouette romance. Boy, I'm gonna have trouble talking. Romance Tidbits, which was the series. Romance reviews, or the news, and then followed by series romance reviews, which were originally done by Melinda Helfer. So look at what I mean. This is like just jam packed with info. You know, convention love notes. Regency reviews by Melinda Helfer, Stella Cameron, and so on. I'm probably passing by things I'm just not seeing of interest that somebody watching this might be like, oh, hey, stop turning the page. But I'm just trying to give you a flavor of like what an issue is like. So that was just one issue of Romantic Times. And there's the Angel's Touch line. One issue of Romantic Times, April 1995, which at the time had a cover price of $4 actually, $4 even. Cool, bargain. So now we go to the next issue, 134, May 1995. And I'm not going to do this for all of them, but now this, I think that was the last newsprint. Yeah, that must have been the last newsprint issue, because now we have the papers on glossy or sort of shiny, thinner, shiny paper, and it's like in color now. So everything, before was all in black and white, and now you have color. So, ta-da! So Flavius Cullum, Nora Hess. I wonder if the price went up too as a result. Nope, still $4. Now this is back in the day when you could get, cool magazines for not much money. Of course, I guess maybe if it was, around today, it would be like $10, inflation being what it is. The Art of Collecting Paperbacks. This is an article by Gary Lovisi, who is the editor of the long-running magazine Paperback Parade. And in fact, Gary Lovisi has a YouTube channel that he updates frequently where he shows off his paperback book collection. He doesn't talk much about romance novels at all in his videos. He's mostly about science fiction and crime mystery and like sleaze novels and things like that. That's about as close as you'll get to the thing, Outlander audio. The tete-a-tete section. And I'm just running through. I haven't looked at these in a while, so I haven't made notes or anything of anything interesting in each issue. So we'll just kind of skim through some of these real quick and see if anything pops out that's like, oh. Although I probably won't be able to do that for every issue because there's Diana Palmer. Harlequin romances go on sale in China. Interesting. Carol Nelson Douglas, who's a mystery writer. Regency. Our expanding genre. This is a column by Catherine Falk about the editor of the magazine, about Harlequin entering the China market. Do romance novels challenge the reader? Well, they aren't exactly literary novels or idea novels. There was a thing that sort of spread around on Twitter the other day about some writer who was talking about wanting to do literary romance because they were unsatisfied with regular romance, and of course that caused a big stir and blah blah blah. But I think there's room for any kind of book you want to tell, even if it's if it doesn't conform to the rules of romance or the genre requirements. People can still write whatever they want, and they just get bad reviews if people don't like them. Obviously, it shouldn't really be marketed as a romance if it isn't truly a romance. But I tend to look at the last page if I'm unsure. Does this, of course that's sort of cheating, but on the other hand, you read a 300-page novel, ends with a tragedy, you may be kind of upset. I think feel cheated. But, in memoriam, Emma Darcy was a writing couple. A place for triumph over tragedy. Collectibles report. As in a collector, I collect everything from romance novels to blah, blah, blah. So this is interesting about sort of the collectability of certain books, which you don't really see too much of. You would think you would, because romance is such a popular genre and people are collecting, they have libraries of books. But it always seems like when you go to, say, Facebook and so on, like I was mentioning with the Gary Lovisi Paperback Parade thing too, there's not really a focus on romance, because it's sort of considered not something that's not part of that that whole thing, like science fiction and mystery, where it's not male dominated. That's the thing, so there's that. There's not much of a collector thing going on, like collector book conventions, things where people have tons of romance. They don't value romance, is what it is. Romance novels are considered something that have no value, even though if you go on eBay, you'll see people, bidding in against each other for certain books, and sometimes it can be surprising. It's like, oh, these are just old Harlequins, but people are, buying them for sometimes more than what they are buying for other genres. But there's sort of this stereotype of old romance novels having no value. Here's interesting: why men don't read romance. So I don't have time to look at all that, but there it is if you want to see what he has to say. Let's see. So we're almost done here. Arabesque ad there. All right. And issue number 138, September 1995. I should probably run through these quicker, maybe just show the covers like I did last time. Let's look in I was going to look in the table of contents just to see if there's anything interesting that I ought to highlight here. It's hard to get the whole. Oh, here's a new publisher of multicultural romance, Genesis Press Incorporated. So they did a reissue, Indigo Romances. They did a reissue of Entwined Destinies, which is regarded as the first African American romance novel by an African American author. In 1980, I think it was. There's a letter by Georgina Gentry. So sometimes you'd have authors in the, writing into the letters page. Let's skip ahead here and see if we see anything of interest. Okay, let's jump ahead to the next issue. 139, October 1995. There's the table of contents. Exclusive interview with Keanu Reeves. Wow. How did they score that? I guess because he's got a movie to promote. There's the Keanu interview. All right, let's go to the next issue. 140, November 1995. Great American Romance Novel. Joanna Lindsay on tour. There's June Lund Shiplet, who I have recently bought a novel by. To hell with those who would classify us as a lesser literary form. Romances are great American novels. So you can see that the defense of the genre has been going on for a long time. Obviously, even before this, I've seen a Publishers Weekly article from early 80s, like 1982 or something like that. There was a romance writer who was, wrote an article defending romance as a worthy genre. And it still continues today. You go on Twitter and there's always tends to be some sort of controversies going on. There's Janet Daly, a romance writer talent search. All right, let's go to the next one. So we're finally to 1996. I wish I could get this in better. The way my the thing that holds my phone when I take the photos isn't high. It doesn't go high enough to get like a really good overhead view of all this stuff, which is probably what I ought to look into getting. So yeah, so we're just gonna show the covers, I guess, for now. Let's go to the next one here. Maybe in the future I can do a video where I kind of do an overhead shot of all the magazines and sort of give them a little better better display. I'll just show some of the contents pages. This is issue number 144, or Robert's 100th book. Issue number 145 from April 1996. And there's the table of contents. 146 actually was that. Yeah, that was 145. This was 146. Cindy Geyer, Doll. She was sort of the female Fabio. She was a popular cover model. And there she is right there. There's a letter from Gwen Forster talking about romance convention. Issue 148. Issue 149. That's a cool ad. $150, celebrating our 150th issue. There's a picture of Catherine Falk on there. I think she's holding issue number 2, actually. So remembering, well, there's the staff at romantic times. Melinda Helfer and company. All right. So now the next issue, 151 from October 1995, or 1996 rather. This looks interesting. Jane Castle. Jane A. Prince. All right. Anne Rice, issue number 152. And as things went along, the magazine kind of covered more genres. You know, they were always kind of open to various genres, but you know, with the rave reviews being combined into the back of the magazine, a scholarly view of romance. And so eventually leading to the name change of the book, or the magazine rather. Let's see what page that was for that Janet Dailey thing. 54. Looks like her new release. So this was before Janet Dailey's was accused of having plagiarized Nora Roberts. That should be coming up here, I would think. I think it happened around this time. We'll take a look at some others here. 154. $155. Harlequin Delights. Wonder what this is about over here. Number 28, it says. Oops. This is a presumed dead. Oh, it's a trope. So sort of these theme spotlights. This presumed dead is one of the tropes. Mainstream romances future. $157. $158. Some reviews there. Regencies are in danger of extinction. This was around the time where, so the future of the line is up in the air at the time. This is author Emily Hendrickson, who wrote a lot of the traditional regencies for Signet. The Signet did eventually cancel their traditional Regency line, but not till like around 2005, I think, or 2004, as did Zebra. Somebody's written on the cover of that one. This is issue number 160 from 1997. Tess Gerritsen. And let's see what else. 161. Thing about Indigo Romance. Nora Roberts. 162. '63. Inspirational romance. So there was always news about, stuff coming out. 164. Dorothy Dunnett, historical writer. This is interesting. Revered artist Pino directs models Moniece and Mark Johnson. So there's the cover. Oops, and there's the photo. So that's the cover, and that's the photo of the models with Pino, the artist, there on the left. Now here's the thing about the Summer of Scandal, 92. And there's also a thing about Jane Ann Krentz in there. Remembering Princess Diana. Connie Mason. Diana Gabaldon. Thinking about Jane Ann Krentz. Oh, there's the thing of Julia Quinn. Let's see, what page was that? 92. So let's see if we can find that. The Summer of Discontent. The rise and fall of a romance icon. It's Janet Daly and her husband. I think there might have been more about the issue that I kind of missed there. Oh, those are stuck together. So this is, well, they've changed the logo, and let's see where I can find the issue number. There it is, 166. Still $4 though. There's an article the letter by Flora Kidd saying, almost 20 years ago, I met Janet Daly in Toronto. She was just beginning to be successful as a romance writer. I liked her, blah, blah, blah. What a pity she was manipulated into writing those dreary long historicals and mainstreams. Anyway. Whatever happened to Essie Summers, who was a old-time Harlequin writer who was very popular. So, all right, let's get through more of these. I'm almost done with this little stack here, and then we can get to the next box. So this is 168. You can see how long it took me. Just was 169, just to get through some of the stuff. I got 2 more boxes to go too. Maybe I'll save those for a future video. But we'll see here. Inspirational romance. $172. $173. 174, or 174. 175, the Regency novel. Let's see. We're still discuss the plight of the Regency genre. The first illustrated romance novel. And finally, 176. Rising Stars of Romance. Genesis Press. And so on. Let's hear it for the Regency. All right, I'm going to pause this video and then I'll get some more here.